Hello everybody and welcome to another algorithm video in Python. In this video, we will be learning about the insertion sort algorithm. First, I will show you a quick visual example on how the insertion sort algorithm works. Then, I will show you how to program the insertion sort algorithm in Python. So, let's get started. As you can see, I have a list up on my screen. 5, 2, 4, 1, 3. Insertion sort will sort this list by comparing the first two elements. 5 and 2. 2 is less than 5, so those two will swap places. And as you can see, the 2 has turned blue just to show that it is sorted. Next, we will go ahead and compare 5 and 4. 4 is less than 5, so we swap those places. Then we want to compare 4 and 2. 4 is greater than 2, so we leave it as is. Next, we go to 5 and 1. 1 is less than 5, so we swap places. Then we compare 4 and 1. 1 is also less than 4, so we swap places of those two as well. And finally, we compare 1 and 2. 1 is less than 2, so we swap those two elements. So now 1, 2, and 4 are all sorted. Then we go to 5 and 3. We compare those two, and we find out that 5 is greater than 3, so they switch places. Then we compare 4 and 3. 4 is greater than 3, so those two elements switch places. And finally, we compare 3 and 2. 3 is greater than 2, so we leave it as is. And that is how insertion sort works. We have a fully sorted list. Now, I will show you how to program the insertion sort algorithm in Python. So the first thing that we want to do is create a new function. So we'll type in def, and we can call this function insertion sort. And we'll pass in one parameter, and that will be the list that we want to sort, of course. Inside the function, we will have a for loop. For I in range, and the range will be from the second element in the list, so the first index, all the way to the end of the list. Inside this for loop, we will create a new variable j, and we will set j equal to I minus 1. So just to understand things more clearly, I have a list up in my shell, 43512, that we can use to understand the program. So right now we have two variables, I and j. I's range is from 3, because that is the second element in the list, all the way to 2, which is the last element of the list. So 3, 5, 1, and 2. So when the program starts, I will be, of course, set to 3. 3's position, of course, not 3 itself. So I is set to the first index, which is 3, and j will be set to I minus 1. I is 1, so 1 minus 1 is of course 0. So j is equal to the 0th index, and the 0th index has 4 in its position. So now let's continue on with our code. Next, we will create another variable called next element, and we will set that equal to the list at index I. Now we can have a while loop, and before the while loop I will have a comment, just commenting on what we're doing in the while loop. We will be comparing the current element with the next one. Because as I said in my animation, we need to compare the first two elements and see which one is bigger, and then go on from there. So that's what we're going to do in this upcoming code. So we'll have a while loop, while, and in brackets we will have list at index j is greater than next element, and j is greater than or equal to 0, we want to set list at index j plus 1 equals to list at index j. So we're assigning the value of list at index j, we're assigning that value to the position of list at index j plus 1, to that position. Next, we want to set j equal to j minus 1, and finally, we want to set list at index j plus 1. We want to say that's equal to next element. And remember, next element is equal to list at index I. So we're assigning the value of next element to the position of list at j plus 1. Finally, we get to initialize the list and call the function on that list. So we'll say myList, and we'll set myList equal to, let's say, 19 to 31, 45, and 11, and let's do one more, 27. Then we can call the insertion sort function on that list to sort it. So we'll type in insertion sort and we'll pass in my list. So my list, which is this list, will get sorted. And finally, to see our results, we can print out my list. Now we can save the program and run it. And as you can see, the list is now sorted. Now there's one last thing that I want to do, and this is not necessary, but it's something really cool that is fun to try out, and that is to, at specific places in our code, to add print statements so that we can see the insertion sort algorithm, we can say, in action. So the first place I want to add a print statement is here. We want to print out I is equal to, and then plus, and then I. So whatever I is equal to. There's only one problem, and that is that Python will give us an error because this I is not a string. So to fix that, we can just type in str, which is a built-in function in Python to convert an object into a string, and we can just surround that I in brackets, and that will convert this to a string. Now we can copy this line of code and we can paste it throughout the program. So we can paste it once after we initialize j, and we can type in j is equal to whatever j is equal to, so string j. And finally we can paste it once more here after next element is initialized, and we can type in nxt next element is equal to, and then the variable next element converted to a string. Now we can paste it in two more places, once after the line j is equal to j minus 1. We want to print out j is equal to, and then we can change this to j, and we want to add on. We want to say plus, and then some more quotes, list is equal to another plus sign, and then list. And of course we want this list to be a string as well, so we can use the built-in string method. And we can finally paste it once more right here, where we can say list is equal to, and then we can change that to list as well. So now we can save the program and run it. And as you can see, it shows how insertion sort sorts the entire list, and at the end you have a fully sorted list. So that concludes this video. I hope you learned a lot about the insertion sort algorithm and enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel. I will be back with more content very soon. But for now, I hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.